All right, all right. Oh boy, the 10th season. This has been the longest off season known to man, but we're back. We are live for round number 1, the duels of the 2021 Sunoco Pro Series season. As usual, with the live streams, though, I am not alone in the booth. Normal things as usual. Joining the booth, Finn Guy up in the booth with me as he is usually during live streams, and we know that our IJS host, now the EJS host, is sitting in the back muted. He's currently eating, and will probably pipe in once he is finished with that, but it's just me and Finn Guy for now. Hello, Finn Guy.
Pizza.
Nope.
God damn it, you saw my introduction.
We're getting ready. This is duel number 1, and that is not correct. Oh, shit. There's already, wow, first thing of the season, we have technical difficulties. Hold on, boys. There seems to have been a minor blip. The lap count is not correct. But this is easily fixable. I can work some magic, get it reordered really quick. So actually just give me a few minutes, and then we can actually get the show on the road. God damn it. All right, sorry about that. Yep, it's a typical thing for me to have the same shenanigans of having just one little itty bitty problem, but we're actually here this time. I had to reorder everything, which sucked, but we should be good to go. I'm pretty quick about these kinds of things. It's a 20 lapper for each duel. We'll keep note on who is in danger in each one. The first duel has 3 knockouts. The second duel has 2 knockouts. Your goal, if you are a Go-Go Homer, is just to survive ahead of the other Go-Go Homers. If you're behind non-Go-Go Homers, it does not matter whatsoever, as we do have a mechanical issue at the start of the session, as usual, with NR being funny. but that's just normal in our things. Our current lineup for duel number 1, Connor Hurley, P3 in qualifying. Obviously, your top 2 are locked in, do not have to compete in the duels, and can just watch on and laugh as they all struggle for position, as Rahal and Nelson are just sitting waiting on the sidelines for practice and then the race, as they will start top 2. Hurley, though, leads duel number 1 and will fight for P3 on the grid with William Duncan on his outside. Duncan going for yet another chance at a championship and hopefully won't lose it this time. But there's some steep competition this season. A lot of drivers who are really coming out of their shell, so it's going to get a lot harder from here if Duncan wants a championship. Jimmy Perez moving into the 29 car this year on loan from Ford. Just going to be in this 29 for 1 year with the team, but starting off well, giving Ditech a great result in qualifying and is now hoping for a great result in his duel. He is not in danger, though. He doesn't have to worry about falling out. Peter Onjack, on the other hand, does as a part-time car. All part-time cars will be in danger of falling out in the duels, although Onjack starting in a great position, P4 in his duel, it would take a lot to knock him out. Nick Pericles, row 3, and Sean Angel alongside him, both of them are both locked in through owner's points this season. Pericles earning his own owner's points in one of the greatest drives ever out of a driver last season, and he's come into this season full of confidence and has a great qualifying coming today as well. Lots of high expectations for the 37 this year. Sean Angel, expectations are kind of on the fence for him. It could go either way. We know what Angel can do when he dials it in, but we are just going to have to wait and see what he can do in his Canada Dry Dodge number 78 as Trailblazer becomes the Dodge flagship this year. Jack Halleck and Connor Monaco bring out, why am I forgetting what row this is already? This is row 4. Jack Halleck returns to the series full-time, 7-time winner. Jack Halleck bringing back one of his original sponsors, Snickers, and is just going to be trying to get some good results, and prove that his career isn't over yet. Connor Monaco moving back up to the Pro Series with Southeast, now Pericles' teammate. We'll see what he can do in the 43. Neither of them are fighting to get in either. Sean Ard, neither is he. NOS Energy Drink number 18 for the new team, Freeze Racing Team, full-time this year. Not just a 1-car privateer, it's a 3-car full operation as they bought out Monarch Motorsports and has taken B equipment away from them. So they're looking to actually be pretty big threats this year. They have 2 cars locked in. One that's not Ard is one of the 2 cars that are locked in, alongside Aiden Shepard, who is also locked in. A lot of people at the front of this one locked in, but as we go back, you're going to notice a lot less cars locked in. Grace Takayama and PJ Karenko, though, are still 2 more that are locked into this one. Takayama, a not so great sophomore year, but not a bad one either. It was just a generally okay year for the 54, and PJ Karenko had a pretty good year in his 69 Netflix last year. Now it's with U-Haul, which is Iran's old sponsor, coming over to the 69 to sponsor him. Then finally, we get to another non-locked car. Kieran Haynes, formerly known as Kieran Mulcher, returns to the series with Halleck, and Haynes with T-Mobile 07 Red Stallion, known to make or break careers. So Haynes going to try to make it here. He's just got to stay out of the bottom 3 Go-Go homers today, alongside Ryan Griffin, who is also trying to fight his way in today. Both of these cars looking for a good result today. Griffin is teammates to Connor Monaco and Nick Pericles, but is only a part-time car. Then it is Stephen Thompson going full-time once again for the first time in a few years with Trailblazer, is their new 3rd car, with Station 11 sponsoring them. He is the only Trailblazer car that is not locked into the show, and he's going to have to earn his way in. Skyla Johnson for FRT. Let me get a shot on her. There we go. Kellogg's number 19 is locked into the show and doesn't have to worry about much today. 79 Gerard Ron with Target this time out is now only a part-time driver for Downey Autosport and will have to lock himself in through this as he's getting dangerously close to the back of the field and is close to getting knocked out just on the start. Dan Bartlett, though, in his retirement tour, is locked into the first 5 races. He is good to go in his Hornet number 86, a very classic looking car. Y'all love to see him out here. It's going to be sad to see him go. Sebastian Morandi in the 28 returns this year full-time for Curtis Racing again. He did get owner's points at the last second at the end of last year, and So it's going to be good for him. He's not going to have to fight his way in through today due to his very harsh efforts at the end of the season to get it away from Jack Peñaco. But sadly, that did knock the 5 out of owner's points, which means Baranauskas is going to have to fight her way in which she is starting outside of the cutoff. She's the first car outside the cutoff, which means it's going to take some effort to get herself back in. She's going to have to climb to beat Iran, Thompson, and then these two, Haynes, Griffin. A lot of people back here not locked in, so Baranauskas still has a pretty good chance. And then the back row is full of people who are not locked in, as Constantine, already rookie of the year this year, because by default, because this is the only rookie in the field driving the privateer effort for Nissan, the first time Nissan full-time up in the Pro Series, and Roger Ray alongside him going part-time this year for Fitzwater Australia. It was originally supposed to be a full-time gig, but they lost the ability to hold a third car full-time, and they had to relegate Ray to a part-time car to run a select number of races this season. Unfortunate for him, but he still gets some time out here. He's still got to lock himself in today. He would have had to, even if he was full-time. So we'll see what he can do as we're going to finally get this season underway, get the show on the road. And it's going to be 3 people out, but this also decides your grid spots for the opening race here later this week. So even though if you are locked in, there's still something to race for here. I do not have my audio on. There we go. Now the audio's on. Now the cars are rolling. Connor Hurley and William Duncan. Hurley really has a lot to prove this year. It's a make or break year for him, but giving him a chance is Shock Allison Racing. A big risk that they're taking, but if he works out, we know what he can do. He showed it back in PLS. He had a great season in PLS with his teammate Christopher Cox as well, having a great season. Many believe Hurley might just be a seat warmer for Christopher Cox or Cole Scott next year. But he's got to prove that he's here to stay. And it all starts here. He's on pole for duel number 1. He was 3rd in qualifying, which is an incredibly impressive performance out of him in his home depot. Number 16 Mazda. And as we roll through turns 3 and 4 for the first time in the 2021 season, I am very excited to get this show on the road again. It's been many months painstakingly painting the grid, and the wait is over. Pace car is in. Connor Hurley leads us down to the green flag here. Duel number 1 of 2, 20 laps. Decide who makes the show. Green flag is in the air in Chicagoland. And Pericles wastes no time, and neither does Hurley. Hurley out to the lead. Pericles takes second. It's going to be very shuffly at first. That's how Chicagoland is. It'll solve itself out. It'll calm down. Give it time. Halleck pushing to get to the front early. So is Takayama. Everyone shuffling for as many positions as they can get while it's as chaotic as it is. Haynes is taking big advantage of this. A bump that was from Griffin onto Morandi. They save it. They're okay. As you can see, top 4 already starting to break away. That is Hurley, Halleck, Ard, and Pericles. 4 you wouldn't expect to see starting to break away, but they are. Right now, the 3 that are out, it's Ray, Baranauskas, and Griffin who are currently out. Constantine would be in the show as we stand. What a performance that would be from the worst car on the grid if he could get his way in. But now he's fighting Griffin on his outside. Griffin had a great run on the high side in 3 and 4. Not quite, though. Constantine still in it. We'll get back, though. Hurley is checking out early. This is a really good sign for Mazda. This is exactly what they want to see out of him. Hurley has led all 3 laps so far. Yeah, Peter Onjak, not a great start, but he's not right there with the eliminations either. He's kind of close, though. Oh, Gerardo Ron looking risky. That might have just messed up Connor Monaco and let Peter Onjak get free, though. No. Connor's going to keep fighting him. Every position matters. Every position is 2 positions in the race. So Halleck up in P2 would currently be P5 at the start of Chicagoland, and Hurley would be right back in P3. Lap 5. Hurley's led every lap so far. Here comes Sean Ard for second. Kieran Haynes is flying in that 07. That is a Red Stallion car, and he is currently the highest of the go-or-go-homers in this duel, and he's going for Pericles. And maybe Halleck? No, he checks up a little. I think Halleck's going to make sure he stays ahead here. Cut off the 07. He's looking at it. Yes, he will.
Mazda 1-2 right now, as here comes the third one, just a little outside of this pack right here.
Yep. Oh my God. Duncan got really risky. He wants as many spots as he could get. He lost a lot on the start, but he is flying through the field now. Yeah, Sean Ard is flying right now. He is up to P2. Hurley, though, continues to just stroll out front. He's making it look easy, just keeping a nice, safe distance away from his manufactured teammate and Jack Halleck. Look back. Who are the three that are out right now? That would be Ryan Griffin, Alex Constantine, Roger Ray are all out right now. Iran next is the first one safe. Then it's Peter Onjak and Audra Baranowskis, who's made up a lot of positions since we last got a look at her. She's on the move. Ray is setting his sights on the 79, though, but he's got to get through the 86 and the 25, and you know Bartlett's not going to let him go to go get his teammate. No, Bartlett's going to keep fighting on that outside, keep stopping him from advancing towards that 79. Trying to protect his teammate, but Ray gets through. Now there's only one car in between him and Gerard Iran. Peter Onjak is currently in the field. Hurley now starting to be closed in on. Everyone else here is sticking single file. And because of that, Hurley's not getting away much anymore. But there we go. Jack Halleck tries to get second. No. Shut the door on him. The old and the new. Sean Ard, though, not exactly new to this series anymore. He's been around a few years now. He's really gotten used to the atmosphere up here in the SPS. And now, his first time in a decently competitive ride. And look at him go. P2 in his duel right now. Only behind his own manufactured teammate and Connor Hurley. As we stand, it would be a Mazda 235 on the start of the grid. Due to the fact Nelson P2, Hurley P3, and then Ard P5 would be the way this goes. Kieran Haynes is more than comfortable right now of getting in. It would be a surprise if Haynes got out at this point. But Hurley is no longer safe in the lead. Ard has a full head of steam. Not quite there yet.
Not quite there. Just going to give a little pressure to his manufactured teammate in Hurley.
Doesn't challenge in turn one. I think Ard does not want to jeopardize what's going on right now because a challenge could jeopardize one of them to the 40. But no, Ard's just going to stick behind the 16, and they're actually getting a gap away from the 40 right now. Mazda is putting a fantastic show on right now. I did hear that there was a 3 wide. Yeah, there must have been. Shepard gets pushed wide and back. I do see Constantine is making his way up, and Roger Ray dropped to the back. He got shuffled all the way back, and now Iran's in danger from the rookie Alex Constantine. Alex Constantine, someone who we thought was going to be someone who busts out of the light series, was given the chance up in the pros with Fallout, and now he's so tantalizingly close to Iran. He can smell a transfer spot right now. But he's got to get Morandi out of the way, and he's got to worry about that 23, who has a full out of steam 3 wide, with Shepard and Angel and Takayama as well as in that. But Constantine now ahead of the 20, has to focus on the 79, can't let the 28 get back by. Wants any chance at this. What about Connor Hurley? Oh, Ard gets overtaken by Halleck. Hurley still leads. But now it's Halleck. That's not a manufactured teammate. That's not someone you're safe with. Being behind you. Cranko, there seems to be some shuffling back here. A lot of challenges for positions.
And look who I see up in that pack. It's Johnson.
Skylar Johnson making her way up as well. The Mazdas are really converging on the front of the field. But Ard now wants to get back through the 40. Wants to give Hurley that cushion that he needs. Pretty sure the Mazdas are just working together at this point. Doing what they need to do. What about the transfer spot? Constantine doing a good job keeping him behind. He's got to focus on getting ahead. Iran is checking out. Constantine is losing hope here. We're coming to 5 laps to go this time. Duncan pushed out by Haynes. Haynes is getting his elbows out because he wants to make sure he's going to be fine here. Ard thinking about it. Oh, he's more than thinking about it now. He's going for it. Down the inside for second.
Side by side as they head into turn number 1. Art in the inside, Halleck on the outside. Who's going to prevail?
Looks like Art's going to get this here. Hurley is just nice and calm and controlled out front. I don't think I've seen a single mistake out of him so far. Really trying to use his last chance to his advantage. I see PJ Karenko for Downey Autosport wanting to get another spot. And that's going to push the 40 out of the way. And here comes the 19.
This is something that is real interesting with the Mazda folks because now they're in distance of each other now. Skyla can even make a move on the two if they're not even careful.
Yep, these two have a nice distance. They don't have to worry about the cars behind. Skyla up to fourth at Kui. Could see a Mazda podium sweep in this duel. Skyla Johnson. Yeah, Johnson and Karenko have a little bit of beef when in their PLS season as teammates. Fought for a championship. Karenko prevailed, and Johnson's back for vengeance.
As a PLS champion herself, this is going to be interesting between the two.
This is two PLS champions fighting for position, but Jack Halleck wants to get back in it. Art is there.
Blood into the water.
2 to go. How's Constantine doing? Is there anything he can do? No, he's been pushed back. Aron's safe. It comes down to these two. I think the transfer positions are all decided here. I think it's just down to Art, and I don't think Art is close enough. I think Connor Hurley's about to go flag to flag. 1 lap to go for Connor Hurley in duel number 1. This has been a perfect duel for him. Third in qualifying, got himself pole in the first duel, got out in front really early on the start. And although he's had some challenges from his teammate from the 40, he's had a lot of battling going on. It really just hasn't mattered to him. He's using his last chance well, and with his manufacturer teammate in tow, Connor Hurley wins duel number 1.
Mazda 1, 2, 4.
1, 2, 4 for Mazda. Sean Art comes home P2. Skyla comes home P4 with Karenko splitting them down the middle.
If that's nothing to be excited for, I don't know what will be.
Ryan Griffin is out. Alex Constantine is out. And Roger Ray is out. Fitzwater, Australia, Fallout, and Southeast all going to be missing a car. Gerard Aron, the last car to make the show on Jack celebrating. He's made the show as well. Duncan, after a great qualifying, is going to be P21, I believe that is. Not fantastic. Haynes going to be in a great position for Red Stallions. Exactly what the Red Stallion operation want to see. But Connor Hurley must be very happy with himself today from pole to win. Good job for the 16.
Flag for Hurley.
Wasn't expecting to see that. Wasn't expecting him to just hold it out there. Not an extremely competitive heat, though. Not a lot of the really, really heavy hitters out here. Only really William Duncan. Maybe counting Sean Angel as well could be a big hitter. With a few others who have good chances, but Hurley comes out and smokes them all, flag to flag. Great job to him. Here are your final results for that duel. 0.068 seconds. The difference between Hurley and Ard. Ard kind of peaked there at the end and wanted to go for it, but he just didn't have the steam to make it to the line first. So Hurley, for Shock Allison, wants to make it. Shock Allison getting 2 openers in a row, and that's a good way to start it for them. 2, 3, 5, and 9 starting this, and we haven't even gotten to the other duel yet. So that'll be good to see for them. Unfortunate for Ryan Griffin, Alex Constantine, and Roger Ray all going home. And we'll just have to wait and see, especially Constantine full-time. We'll see him next week. Hopefully he can get into the show then. But congratulations, Connor Hurley. We're going to go take a little break, get ourselves set up for duel number 2 in just a bit. All right, we are back once again. This is duel number 2. We just watched 3 people get knocked out in duel 1, and here we are. A lot less people that can get knocked out here, and it's actually nearly impossible for the people in danger to get their way back in. But you never know. Tristan Wilhoit, though, starts on pole for his duel. This duel is stacked full of really, really strong guys. Wilhoit and Ryback fill out the front row. Ryback, a PLS champion himself. I believe he was the 2017 PLS champion. Really strong. He's moved up from Ditech, but he's brought Ditech sponsorship with him up to the team. So Ditech's still with him in spirit. As he now drives for Chevron full-time in the 77. 77 is back full-time. Ryback, though, is... I actually totally forgot to add him to that. Yeah, Ryback's actually in danger. I just totally forgot to add him. I just didn't even think about it. Yeah, no, Ryback is in danger here. But it would take a miracle to get those guys to the back up ahead of him. Ryback just got to run a nice solid race, and he's in. Row 2 filled with very strong veterans. In fact, it was the 1-2 in the championship from last season. Your reigning champion, Cordell Paulson, and Eric Monaco, his teammate, alongside. They were very strong last season. Monaco especially strong. I think it was his best season ever, but he just couldn't match up to Paulson. There's rumors that this could be Paulson's last season up in the Pro Series, though, so you never know. Row 3, Max Anderson, who was locked on the front row last year. This year, he's actually going to have to fight in the duels for a good starting spot. But he is sitting on row 3. He can, on the inside, he could easily get himself back up there, so you never know. The reigning Chicagoland winner alongside him, Shane Vincent, start on the outside, so he'll be pushed back a little bit to start, although the outside can work. If he can really dial it in turn 1 and 2, he could clear someone and get a spot out of the start, get ahead of Anderson. You never know. Row 4, Kenny Moma is on the verge of being knocked out as well in the 97. The E3 Spark Plugs number 97, Patrick Smith's main sponsor, but they're helping out Kenny Moma as well. Moma was only on a 2-race trial last year. Now he's got half the part-time car, 5 full races this year, starting here in Chicagoland alongside the opener winner last year, Alex Benyako in the 17. He won 2 races last year at Road Gatineau and in Golden State. We'll see if he can pull out more wins this year after his breakout season as the team leader, Jacques Allison Racing. I believe this is row 5. Yeah. Row 5, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. in danger, but he does have his champion's provisional on hand in case he needs to use it. But he's got a good starting position. He could pull this together for a good result, and he won't even have to use it alongside Vince Freeze, still looking for his first career win, although it's suspected that this year he could pull it out, but he is safe coming into today. Mark Nutt and Morgan Fuller bring up another row of people who are completely safe going into this. Mark Nutt, his 2nd year with the team, technically his 1.5 year with the team, but hopefully looking for a great season this year and a great result in this duel that can get him a good start to Chicagoland. Morgan Fuller had a breakout year last year, finally breaking through and showing that she had the talent that everyone thought she did, and now she's coming back this season looking to try to follow up on that and continue pushing through the field. Behind them, Gatlin Downey and Alexander Rowe. Alexander Rowe, your preseason testing winner, and Gatlin Downey moving away from Full Frontal Motorsports, which was Dodge, that moved to Chevy, over to Trailblazer Motorsports, which was BMW and is now Dodge. So he's just back into Dodge under new ownership in the number 7, replacing Benoit Laverne, who goes back to probably rallying. And Alexander Rowe just looking for another good season in the 47. Kyle Schuck Jr. is locked into the show in his Bet MGM number 21 Pontiac. Although it's a pretty bad qualifying, he doesn't have to worry about being knocked out. Paul Jackson, on the other hand, does. He's the one Freeze Racing Team car that is not locked into the show, but he is Paul Jackson. He has his champion's provisional, and he is just so strong at these speedways. He's just got to get a good start, and he can work his way straight through this field and won't have to worry about the guys behind taking out his champion's provisional. Chris Louviere and William Brock, both safe, but bad qualities for the both of them. These are 2 drivers we expected to be really good this year, and this is not a great start to that, especially for this guy, Scott Roush from the 38, almost on the back row, but he's safe, he's fine. It's just going to be a struggle to get a good starting position. And the two people who are in danger of being knocked out, Tim Randolph and Cody Lamas, bring out the bottom 2 spots. And like I said, it is very difficult for them to get it. They'd have to get all the way up to Ryback and Kenny Moma, which is a tall task. If they want to pull that off, I'm going to unmute now our co-commentators. A few others have joined us in the booth since we took our little break. So we're very excited about that. Obviously, Finguy's still here. We know that Aiden is here with us now. Freeze and Duncan in the back. Ready to start as well, and we are getting ready to go. This is duel number 2 now. We want
to Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas now. Happy Halloween, everyone. Hope everyone has had a great Halloween as Mariah Carey begins thawing.
Stop saying that.
Car's now out on track, up onto the curbing. Will Hoyt wants to start his sophomore year out well. Cordell Paulson wants to start another championship defense off well. Eric Monaco wants to finally best his teammates and get out of their shadow. Ryback wants to have a great start to his season at a top team. Anderson wants to prove that he still has championship caliber blood in him. Shane Vincent, after breaking out last year, really wants another result, another win at Chicagoland. And Kenny Moma just trying to make the show. Alex Benyako trying to get another season opener win, and Fitzwater just doing his best out here, outperforming the car in qualifying. Hopefully can put it together for a nice outperforming duel here. Chicagoland. Freeze looking for his first career win, coming through turns 3 and 4. Pace car in this time. Tristan Wilhoit will lead us down to the green flag. 20 more laps and we will have a starting grid and the 2 eliminated here in Duel 2. Green flag is in the air. Once again at Chicagoland, Shane Vincent, a fantastic start and nowhere to put it. Because the 77
being blocked off.
The 77 and the 87 had terrible starts, and he had nowhere to put that run. That was such a good run. Will Hoyt tries to clear his teammate. He can't. And here comes Cordell Paulson, the guy we all expected to see pushing his way up, but Anderson pushes through with him. And you know Anderson's not just going to let him go. No, he's trying to go for it already.
Oh, a little bobble back there by Fitz Freeze.
Freeze bobbles on the high side. He's not worried about getting knocked out, but it really would not be good to get a bad start position there. Almost 4 wide back there. Jackson being pushed to the rear. He's out as we stand. He still has his provisional, but you can see that Tim Randolph is going for broke. He has almost nothing to lose. He has to get up to MoMA. He has to get up to Ryback, and Ryback is falling. Uh-oh. Oh, but it cuts Louvier off. Does not want to fall another spot further. Louvier going to try to get him anyway. No. 77 is clear and safe. Paulson and Anderson off to a fantastic start, and Anderson wants this lead. He can't start on the front row this year, but the second row seems nice to him. There's also another Mazda here trying to get up here as well. That's Mark Nutt.
Anderson really right on the back of Paulson. This rivalry, we know this has been a very long-standing rivalry between the two. I'm pretty sure this is going to be an interesting heat between the two of them.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say they've had a rivalry. I'd say they have a good relationship. Because remember, the whole reason Anderson got suspended those years ago is because he rigged the race for Paulson when they were teammates at full frontal.
Well, you know what they say about rivalry. You can have like some that are with best friends. You know that.
So I'm guessing that's why Anderson not being very aggressive with Paulson right now. Because these two probably have a good relationship off the track and don't want to ruin that. Anderson, very rare to see that he's not being aggressive with the 83 and is instead pushing him forward to get away from the 97. 98 and 99. Wow, that's funny. Didn't even notice that.
What a number pun. Anyways.
Ryback currently safe. Jackson is more than safe. Now he's been flying. Shane's coming back through the field. Eric's trying to come back through the field. Oh, Shane's got to worry about the 21 here. I think that's a little late for Shock to be trying that, though. Yeah, that's going to make him fall behind a little. Roush has been working his way up. As we stand, bottom 2 that are out are the expected ones. Tim Randolph and Cody Lamas are out as we stand. Still, though, Anderson is not trying. He's just sitting there. Rowe working his way through. Ryback trying to make himself just a little bit safer today. Down the inside of Wilhoit. Should be a nice clean move. And now, Jackson up ahead of Fitzwater. He's going for Rowe now. We know these two have a good relationship. Rowe gives him a nice little block. Nothing too aggressive, though. And they're both going to work on Wilhoit right now. Jackson, no longer affiliated with Jason Wolf Racing, no longer has to be nice to those guys. After having long-standing teammate rivalries with the entire Jason Wolf squad over his many years. The only driver, though, that I know on that team that he had a decent relationship with was Wilhoit. He had a decent relationship with Wilhoit. Never really got into a scuffle with him. So he'll just make it nice and clean. Oh, Anderson got Paulson. Didn't even notice that. Pushed him out of the way. Anderson to the lead. And that is Moma to second. Mark Nutt up to third. Paulson pushed back a little bit. He'll have to recuperate and get himself back up there. Anderson is out of there. As we'd expect out of your 2014 champion. Lots of champions around now. PLS champions, SPS champions. It's in our 10th season now. There's a lot of people who have that marker now, especially this guy, Jackson, who has been flying through the field for Freeze Racing Team. He won't be using that champion's provisional today, that's for sure, because look at him go. Oh, you are not going to go for this. Oh, he is! Oh,
he is! Look at this! It's a 3!
Oh, it wasn't a 3, but that was a risky maneuver, especially on someone you're known for having a decent relationship with. But he does not want to waste any time. He wants as many positions as possible.
And this is the thing I want to point out. Mazda is doing it again.
They are. They're converging on the front, but this time they have a very, very steep challenge in the 34 if they want to win this one. Because Anderson is trying to just check out and drive away. And there is Jackson on Paulson and on Ryback. Look at him go! Oh, that 10 is alarmingly fast.
Paul Jackson has a point to prove.
Yeah, he's the second fastest car of the race. Only behind Tristan Wilhoit, who is getting his bearings again and starting to move back up. Oh, but Rowe now challenging Jackson back. But Jackson shuts him off. Says, no, sir, that's not happening. I got a race to win. Next is MoMA. One of the big stars coming up through the lower leagues. He was your first ever junior champion, and Jackson makes it look easy.
What a move by the 10!
That was such a late move, and usually those late moves don't work. But that 10 is so fast. There he goes, and he's out of there. Mark Nutt is catching the 34, and he's got a manufactured teammate in tow. Doesn't this look familiar? A Jacques Allison and a Freeze Racing team car converging at the front. It's just Hurley and Ard all over again. This time, though, they have Anderson, Lamas, and Tim Randolph currently out. Shane not having a good race in the duels. Gonna just have to prepare for the actual race. And here comes Mark Nutt and Paul Jackson. Jackson, keep in mind, at one point was dead last in this race on lap 1 or 2. And here he is, P3. He has stormed through this whole field. This is why he's the 2017 champion right here. This speed that he's known for. The fact that he's not in a top tier car anymore does not seem to be slowing him down a bit. 5 laps to go for Max Anderson, and both Mazdas are now starting to breathe down his neck. But these guys here, Benyako clears past the 2 Jason Wolfs. Actually, I think he was already past Wilhoit. Wilhoit just getting through Paulson. Paulson running out of steam here. Rowe seems to be running out of steam as well. He had such a good run coming up through the field, but he's starting to slow it down a bit. That's not what he wants to see. Jackson on his own teammate here. His own manufactured teammate, and it's nothing. That's a far stronger car. That's the parent team. That's Shock Allison Racing. The guys he works for. And he made it look easy. And all that's left now is one of the biggest rivalries in Pro Series history. Boiling up once again. Anderson sees that 10 in his mirror and he knows what's coming. He knows who he's up against.
Meanwhile, look at this. Battle for fourth.
Battle for fourth back there. Yeah, Benyako versus MoMA as Mazda continues to do the same thing they did in Duel 1. Just slowly make their way up and work together to get a fantastic starting position for the whole operation. Here comes Jackson. 2 to go. Does he have enough time? Oh, this will be close. If he can really dial it in, he could get this. But he spent so much time coming through the field. How much does he have left in the tank? Has he used it all, or does he have something left to give Anderson a go for the win? He's just a little far right now. Oh, but a great run through 3.
Diving into 3 out of 4. Here we go.
He might just be a little too late. White flag for Anderson. I think Anderson's got it. Jackson spent so much getting through the field, and he just didn't have enough time. And through 3 and 4, with the 10 breathing down his neck, Max Anderson wins duel number 2 in the 10. What a drive! And right at the end, he challenges him anyway. Gets to his quarter panel. He knew he could get there, just not enough time. Mark Nutt in 3rd. Benyako gets 4th. And Mazda, what a showing in the duels. They came out swinging and stomped the field. They just curb stomped the whole field. And out goes Cody Lamas and Tim Randolph. Bottom 2 in the duel. There's nothing they can do to save themselves. Unfortunate. They had almost no chance of pulling it off, and they don't. Anderson did a fantastic job, but Jackson is absolutely the MVP of the day in the duels. Hunted from the back of the grid and almost won, and just came up short by less than a 10th. That is an incredible showing. Randolph and Lamas will join Roger Ray. Why am I forgetting things? Why is my memory bad? But is going to be joining Roger Ray, Alex Constantine, and Ryan Griffin to make our 5 D&Qs. Unfortunate for them, Red Stallion Racing only going to have 1 car in the show, and so is Fitzwater Australia. They will be losing both Lamas and Ray, which leaves only Fitzwater in 14th in his duel. Will be shifted down to somewhere around 30th, and he's the only car for his team, for his own team. Owner driver out here, going to try to get done a good result. But congratulations. Anderson starting P4, Jackson starting P6, Mark Nutt starting P8, and a bunch of Mazdas are all right there. All of them. P10 for Alex Benyako as well. Not great for Honda, and also not great for Pontiac much either. The 2 big guys from the previous seasons, both not great duels for either team. So Honda and Pontiac can have a lot to work to do. Ford had an okay running. Freeze is going to be somewhere around P14. Anderson obviously going to be at the front of the field. Roush, not so great. But we know that the Fords, other than Red Stallion's one little mishap, the Fords had a pretty good running. Tim Randolph was pretty much screwed, though. But congratulations, Max Anderson and Connor Hurley starting P3 for this week's race. That is the duels done, and we can finally get the season on the road. The first full round of the Sunoco Pro Series is going to be happening sometime later this week. And we're going to get it ready to go, get the season underway. It'll be Roman Rahal and Allie Nelson who will be your front row for this week's race. The opener at Chicagoland, a crown jewel event. Obviously, as usual, the opener. We'll see if we can get a new crown jewel winner, if Max Anderson can win another crown jewel. Jackson could come out and surprise us all and win for Freeze Racing Team. Lots could happen this week, and we'll see you all then next time. Ciao.